Okay, let's see. Do your screens show that we're recording now? Usually your screens will show if we're recording. Mine is not showing that we're recording for some reason.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Technology is wonderful when it works, which is not often enough for my taste, but. So hopefully you're here for Biology 105, and this is the first semester of a 2-semester sequence. The second semester is 106. And we kind of divide up the main topics of biology. This semester, we mostly focus on biochemistry, very introductory levels, so don't panic if you haven't had chemistry or haven't had chemistry in a long time. Cell biology and genetics. And then the second semester in Biology 106, we look at ecology and evolution and biodiversity, all the different types of living organisms that there are. So right after class, I'm going to post your first assignment, and this will be due before we come to class on Wednesday. So I want to talk a little bit about this assignment, and I'm going to move to a different screen to do that. So this will be posted right after we get done. And let's see, let's get the right one here. Now we should have the right one. So you should be able to see something that says introductory note card. Let me know if that's not what you're seeing. And this is kind of the general format that most of our assignments will be in. And one of the reasons we're doing this is to get you used to how you'll turn in assignments. And notice that here it says type in your name, which should be name. Now, since I discovered this, there's no extra credit, but normally on any written assignment that I give you, if you find an error like name is spelled wrong, you can correct that misspelling, maybe put it in purple font or something so that I can see it, but, put mistake, this is spelled wrong, and you can get an extra credit point. So keep that in mind on any written assignment that we have, that's permissible. So what you're going to do is type in your name. Please make sure you put your name on it. Since there are roughly 20 people in class, if you don't put your name on it, that means I have to go back and I have to look at what time you submitted your assignment and see what the timestamp on the assignment is. And usually that means I will take off a point for the hassle of having to do that. So I want you to tell me what your name is and tell me the name that you're going to be putting on your assignments. So if your name is Elizabeth and you're going to put Liz or whatever, tell me that. I don't think we have anybody in class that has the same first name and last name. So you'll probably be fine if your name is Elizabeth Brown and you just are going to write Liz B on your test. I don't think you'll have to do your whole last name, but please put your name on here. So I will send you this in a Word document. So you should be able to type in your name at the top. And then you're going to tell me your name down here. Up at top, I would like your official name, what it's probably going to say on my roster, if you know that. So whatever you registered under. It would also be useful with your name if you would tell me your email address, if you think you might end up emailing me from some address other than your South Suburban College address. If you email me from your South Suburban College address, I'll be able to figure it out pretty quick. That's not a problem. But if you email me from some other address, a lot of times people's email names are something that's meaningful to them, but it might not be very meaningful to me. So would be good if I know what that email is. The other thing that would be helpful if you do that, and your name is Elizabeth Brown, but you go by, the Quick Brown Fox or whatever, tell me what your name is in the email, and also somewhere in the subject line, put Biology 105. Because like all of you, I get lots of spam, and if I don't know who something is from, I might not even open that email. So I'd like to know if you've had any previous biology or chemistry or math classes, and it could be college, but it could also be high school. I'm just trying to basically get a feel for what your background is. So tell me what the class was, when you took it, and one of the things we'll focus on a lot this semester, which is necessary in any science, we want to be specific. So tell me what year you took it. Don't tell me when I was a sophomore in high school. I have no clue when that was. And I don't know where you went to high school, so tell me where you took it. Did you take it at TF South? Did you take it at University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana? So where did you take it if you took, and not just Biology 105, but as I say, chemistry classes and math classes also. So that'll give me a little bit of a feel for what your background is. Sometimes that helps me in terms of knowing if there's some areas where I may have to start a little bit further back or a little bit further up so that people don't get bored. And then why are you taking this class? Are you just taking it for a general education science requirement? Or are you taking it for whatever your major or your career path is? And if so, what is your major or your career path? Are you using this to get into nursing school or pharmacy school or medical school? What's your goal? Because when I talk about examples in the class, if we have a lot of people going in one particular direction, sometimes I can focus my examples on what they want to do. Then is there anything I should know about you? Are you hard of hearing? Do I have to make sure I have the volume turned up loud enough? Do you, anything else? You have a job where you're on call 24/7. I can tell you two things about me that hopefully won't impact our class often, but one is my computer is bundled with my phone. So unfortunately, every once in a while you will hear the phone ring and I can't turn it off, because if I turn it off, I turn off the computer. So I will try to get the phone shut down as quickly as possible. The other thing I have to warn you about is I do some rescue work with the Humane Society. And so for instance, right now I have a dog that I'm trying to get used to people and to house train. So I may sometimes get interrupted if you hear barking or something. I'm not being attacked by a pack of wild wolves. It's just the dog, or sometimes there's more than one in the house. And then you may not have looked yet, but on the class website, there are some notes posted, and they're posted in two different formats. They're posted in Microsoft Word and they're posted in PDF. Now, the advantage of Word is most people have some kind of word processor where they can open a Word document and edit it. So I know in the past I've had some students who like to make notes right on the Word document. They like to highlight things or underline things, or whatever you want to do. A lot of people don't have the more specialized programs that they can edit a PDF with. So let me know if you have a preference. If some people want to use one and some want to use the other, I'll keep posting both. But if everybody wants one, whichever one it is, that'll be the only one I'll post. Now, if I remember, I will record all our sessions. And if you notice that I'm not recording, please tell me, and I'll try to correct that as soon as I can. If you would happen to miss class, you can go to YouTube. It'll usually take an hour or two after the class, but I do have a YouTube channel. So if you look up Griffith, or if you look up Biology 105, or if you look up SSC Biology, you should be able to find our channel. I think right now all the videos that are posted are about Biology 106, the second semester class. But about 2 hours after class today, the video from today will be posted. So if you want to do that and you're not here, you can look at that, or if you want to review something we've talked about for the test, you can use that to review for the test. So let's start looking at, we've talked about the note card. So basically what you're going to do is type in your answers. Notice you are going to use complete sentences. So when it says, what's your name? Just don't say Bill Jones. Say, my name is Bill Jones. You're going to have to answer in complete sentences using correct grammar on almost everything that we do this semester. So you may as well get used to it. And then what I would recommend is, I think the note card that I'm going to send you later today, it'll be posted. So it's just titled Introductory Note Card, I believe. But I would suggest that after you type in your answers, save it as Introductory Note Card answered or something clever like that. And then when you submit it back through D2L, make sure that you submit the right one. I know in the past, I've had trouble a couple of times because people have downloaded the assignment, they typed in their answers, and then they've sent me back the assignment that I sent them without any of their answers in it. So one of the things I would recommend when you get ready to send the email to me is after you get it set up, download what you submitted and see if it has any answers in it, see if it makes sense, just as a double check. As I say, technology is wonderful when it works, but you know, it doesn't always work that well. So really, we're going to use this first assignment more as a basis for kind of, you know, how we submit assignments. Now, since I'm going to get to know you a little bit in your note card, I thought I would introduce myself. I'm G.A. Griffith, and I've taught this class many times before. Before class, somebody was talking to me and commented that they were pretty sure I was here, you know, a while ago, I'll just say, when they were here. So I have taught this class before. Obviously, the way that we're doing things online is a little bit different than, you know, how we would be doing them in the classroom, but I still think we can get a good experience out of this. So to give you my background, I grew up in Southern Illinois. I grew up kind of across the river from St. Louis. And after I got out of high school, I worked a variety of jobs. I went to a variety of colleges, actually 6 different colleges in 4 different states before I finally got my bachelor's degree from the University of Missouri. And then I came up to Chicago to go to the University of Chicago for graduate school. I was in a group called the Committee on Evolutionary Biology, and I figured I would get my graduate degree, either a master's degree or a PhD, and leave. And I was half right. I got my degree, but I'm still here after, gee, that was a while ago, after about 35 years. So in graduate school, you specialize and you end up doing most of your research in a very, very focused area. One saying about graduate school is that you learn more and more about less and less until you know everything about nothing. So what I studied was how organisms use energy and how their energy efficiency affects their reproductive success. So we will hear a lot of examples, not as many this semester as next semester, but we will hear a lot of examples about insect reproduction and plant reproduction and salamander reproduction and frog reproduction, just because I actually spent a lot of time studying those things. So sometimes I just tell people that when I was a graduate student, I got paid to study sex. It sounds a lot more interesting than telling them that the sex was in tent caterpillars or cockroaches or lungless salamanders. But, you know, hey, paid for college. It wasn't all bad. Since we're not on campus regularly, if you want to contact me, I would suggest contact me via email. And my email is here, but it's also in the syllabus. And also, if you go to this course website, you can email me through that without having to look it up. Or if you go to the college website, there's a place where all the faculty emails are listed. So if you can't find my email, try one of those alternate sources. if worse comes to worse, save one of the emails that I send you and then you can reply. And that would work too. So really the only thing you need for class is the textbook. And the textbook is the 3rd edition of a book called Biology in Focus. If you have the 2nd edition, or if you have another recent textbook, it will probably work just fine. But keep in mind, all biology textbooks are not exactly the same. So when I grade assignments, I'm generally using kind of a combination of our notes and our class sessions and our textbook to figure out what the right answer is. So if you're using another book, there could be a couple of occasions when you have an answer that would get marked wrong because our sources are different than what you do. Especially if you're taking the second half of this class, Biology 106, I would recommend that you get our book just because in 106, there are several chapters that are very different in every biology book. They're even different than the 2nd edition or the 1st edition of the same book is. And because of that, you'll pretty much have to get this book in Biology 106, so you might as well bite the bullet now if you can. I think most of our syllabus is self-explanatory. So I want to focus on the assignments. Basically, each unit, and we basically have 6 different units that we'll talk about, has 2 types of assignments in it. At the end of each topic, so actually we're going to have our first short test on chapter 1, just so you can get used to how I give tests. And that will be either Thursday or Monday. So I'll let you know tomorrow. It'll depend where we are. We'll probably wait till Monday just so that you have the weekend to study for it if you would like. And when we have these tests, they have a variety of questions on them. Most of the points on the test are multiple choice questions, but there are some true false questions. There are some sections of matching. There may be some sections of sequencing where you have to put things in the order that they occur. Sometimes there are diagrams or pictures. Since we can't do our labs exactly the same way that we would do them if we were on campus, one type of question that we see on a lot of the labs, a lot of the tests, is pictures of something similar to what you've seen in class, and you might have to identify it or tell what's going on or something like that. And especially later in the semester, we have 2 of our exams that are almost more like math tests in a way, in the sense that they're primarily problems. Now, the problems are very different than the type of problems you have in math class, so don't panic if you hate math. And most of our questions, most of our exams have a short answer question. And I always emphasize short answer. Sometimes teachers call them essay questions, but I like to emphasize short answer because really for our tests, you should be able to answer these questions. I can think of one that might take 6 sentences, but usually you could answer them in 2 or 3 sentences. So if you look at this and you start writing your answer and your answer stretches on for pages and pages, then this will probably be a clue that you're headed in the wrong direction. Now, before we get to that, we will always have a few smaller assignments. Like today I mentioned, we're going to have an assignment where we fill out a note card. And we'll have another assignment that goes with this first unit before you actually get to the test next Monday. If you want any of these small assignments or any of the tests back, all you have to do is email me, and then when I get them graded, I'll email them to you with corrections. Notice if you do that, it usually works better if you send them to me as a Word document, or if you're using a Macintosh, I can read Pages document, or text documents, RTF documents. But if you send them to me as a PDF, I can't write my comments on your PDF, so you won't be able to see the corrections. So it won't do you much good. Now, if you turn in these minor assignments late, you can only turn them in late for a half credit. Excuse me. If you take an exam late, there's a 10% penalty the first time, 20% the second time, and so on. At the end of the syllabus, there is a coupon, and you can use this coupon to turn in one assignment late, and there's no penalty. Now, you can't use this on exams. I know since everybody's at home, it's very tempting to look answers up online, but keep in mind, if you turn things in that you've looked up online, whatever you turn in, you want to rework and you want to put it into your own words. And if you need help, talk to me. We'll schedule a meeting outside of normal class time. Or there are some other sources on campus. There's an academic assistance center, there's a writing center, a reading center, a speech center, and all those are free, where you can get help either with something for this class or for another class if you need it. And then keep in mind that what we're doing, the schedule that you see on the syllabus, is approximate. So it's not going to be the final schedule that will follow unless things go amazingly well. We'll be off schedule soon. And in fact, I'm already seeing an issue with my Zoom today. So I have a feeling today will be cut a little bit short. So.
Hello. You hear me?
Hello.
Oh yeah, I joined a little bit late because I was having issues. I thought
That's
it was
okay.
9:15 and then I and then
That's
I was trying
okay.
to find a link. I
No.
thought I'd get emailed the link, but it was on D2L. So
Yeah,
you included the entire.
it'll always be on the class website, and then usually most mornings, actually today, for today's class, I sent it last night, but most classes, like tomorrow morning, I will have one in your mailbox, probably when you wake up, but by 6:30 or 7 at the latest.
Okay. Also,
So usually it'll
you
be
recorded the
replaced.
entire class session, right?
What?
So I could just go back. You're gonna
Yeah,
post
yeah, we are
recording?
recording. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is when we have these meetings, they're always going to use the same code and the same password. So if you save one of the emails, it's always going to be the same routine to get in. So I will send a new one each day, but it shouldn't be too complicated. Okay, now I mentioned right now I'm having a problem with Zoom. So I'm going to log off for a minute. I'm going to upload our note card. So I want you to check and see if you can get your note card, and then I'm going to start again in another 2 minutes. So we're going to stop just for a second, and I'm going to have to fix Zoom later today. So don't desert us. We are coming back in a moment. So give me a minute and then check online for the note card assignment.